Hey guys, I'm back today to make some more tutorials, and with that, we're gonna be making a stylized environment tutorial. I'm not gonna be teaching anything specific to fundamentals in art or anything with like 3D design. We're mainly just gonna be discussing my workflow and how I like go about things, teaching like some plugins, this and that. Nothing too strict or over the top, more laid back and everything. And I want to get this cleared up right off the bat. I will be using assets from Delus's Patreon store. This video is sponsored by Delus. I am being paid for this video. So if you want some of the assets that I will be using in this video, such as these ones right here, except for the rocks, you can find that on his store. I'll have that linked below in the video description. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the environment sculpting. I have made some modifications to some of these assets to fit the theme that I have going on, which is really just changing like the colors of the base textures, such as this tree right here, making it a darker alternative of this one. Okay, so I think for this, we're just going to just basically freeball what I'm wanting to do here, and I think we're gonna go with a forest. So I'm gonna start with the pathway design that I'm gonna be wanting. So let's see. Let's go with something that's loopable. So let's go with like something that's kind of like a figure 8. Not exactly. There you go, maybe something like this. I kind of like this, and then maybe fill that in as a central area. And then maybe we'll have some paths branch through, perhaps off like that. And that'll give us a different feel, maybe soften these corners. They're not as rough, or sharp, I should say. Yeah, something about like this. I kind of like the way this looks. This looks like butterfly wings. Okay. Now we're going to be using a plugin that is called, where is it at? It's called Build V4. I don't know where it is. Up at the top. There's Build V4. Basically, the only thing I use in this plugin are their terrain tools. Specifically these two tools. Primarily just this one, because it has really nice growing tools and sculpting. Really, really, really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and start with some basic landscaping, because we don't want our environment to be like flat, like a pancake. We want there to be some elevation, but we don't want it to be too much, because we also have to take into consideration of how tall the player is. So with that, actually, we're going to go ahead and insert a rig. Oh, it has all those ugly attachments and stuff to it. How big does this feel as a player? About right here. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. It feels pretty to scale. And we're just going to basically go around and just kind of sculpt this up to give it some dynamic feeling to it. Because a lot of maps in Roblox games are just completely flat like this, which is fine, of course. It's always dependent on what the client wants, what the gameplay is going to be like, etc. But in our case, we have all the creative freedom we can ever ask for, so we'll go crazy here. And you know what? I'm thinking about also adding a waterfall, not a waterfall, a lake somewhere, or a pond, rather. We probably would want that around the center. I'm thinking maybe like around here we could have it, so we'll get the flat tool out and just kind of flatten this area out. Oh, I'm running into some issues with the flattening tool. That is not expected. Okay, there we go. And now we'll, do we want to paint with the tools or do we want to use part of terrain? It actually seems to be fine right there. Okay, yeah, okay, we'll go like, wait, does that actually change the deepness? Oh, what is it? Oh, I have a part right there. Oh, that makes sense. I forgot I have this out here because I use part of terrain plugin. Okay, confused there for a second. Okay, let's go ahead and actually do a little bit more here with how this will look. Go ahead and add some thickness down below. Try and make sure whenever you are bringing the terrain down, you don't hit the edges. It'll affect how the water looks and how it snaps for the shorelines. Go ahead and just, actually I might use the mezzo one, might be better. There we go. And go ahead and bring it down. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll grab a part, not the anchor, do anything to it, and basically just watch how, okay, we're running into an issue here. This was all brought up, while the rest stayed the same. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this up. We'll repaint our paths. Bring that up maybe a little bit more. Okay. Okay, that does seep through. Okay, so we're gonna have to cover that. Go ahead and bring this up a little bit more on the sides, and go ahead and bring everything else up. Not sure why it did that. I think I just didn't catch it. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Okay. Now we have a little area for our pond. We'll go ahead and bring our NPC up. Okay, we'll go ahead and convert this to water. So we're going to use part of terrain, this plugin, and just convert to water, and then delete the part. There we go. And for our water settings, let's go ahead and, since it is stylized, we don't want it to be too realistic looking, so maybe slightly darken it, and actually, based off how the sky looks, it might actually be more beneficial to us to have it a darker blue. So we might want to turn that transparency down and move the reflectance down. No, the reflectance stay up. Yeah, I don't want it to be too dark, the water. Underneath as well, we'll go ahead and use this ground material that I found online. Don't remember where though. It's been a while since I've downloaded it, so I'll see if I can put it in the video description. If not, well, Delus may have one on his Patreon store. There we go. Something like that. And we might even actually do it around the edges. So actually sculpting over the water, it is interesting. Okay. Well, we're probably gonna want to put this down all the way to 1 then. And do something like that. There we go. Okay, look at that cover. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but I guess it's fine. Doesn't really change much. If anything, it makes it look a little bit more natural, so since it's symmetrical. Okay. And we're gonna go ahead and use some of our rock materials in here as well, so it looks a little rocky, so then we can place our rock assets over here later. Yeah, something like that. And then what's the... It's glacier, isn't it? Yeah, it's glacier. Put some of that in there as well. Just give our rock some variance. And usually for an environment, I would have a darker grass alternative material around bodies of water to show that it's like damp and wet. But I don't really have the time to do that right now. Okay. How does this feel? Looks good, looks good. Let's go ahead and get our pathways back. Where's ground at? Is that ground? Okay. And we'll go up to about like 4. Paint this back. And we're gonna make that skinnier with these. There we go. I like that. I'll go ahead and smooth all of this out as well. So that didn't make it smoother. What in the world? Okay. Really sure it's why it's not smoothing properly, but Roblox is gonna Roblox. Okay. How does this feel? I'm not really liking the elevation here. I'm not sure why it's being so hard to smooth. And I also think that there's just like too much ground as well. There needs to be more grass. Maybe we'll add a patch right there or something. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. There we go. Back to ground. And redo this area. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and paint some grass around. We don't want to change everything to be the grass decoration material, as it's just not very good looking in my opinion. Just a personal preference. And because it doesn't feel as restrictive to the player. And speaking of restrictive to the player, we're going to go ahead and turn the grass height down all the way. I like that feeling more. It feels like you can actually walk through it. It doesn't feel like going through a 10-foot tall cornfield. Okay, just sporadically do this on the edges. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some more refining around the paths. We have some pop over into the path a little bit, like that. There we go. And go ahead and put some a little pond. Okay, there we go. Just zigzags out there. Sense of fulfillment. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. fulfillment, fulfillment. Go ahead and do some sporadic zigzags out there to make everything feel a bit more full. There we go. Okay. Maybe fill in some of these gappy areas. Okay. Yeah, looks good. I'll go ahead and add some cobblestone as well through here, because why not? And actually, we'll go ahead and use the replace tool. So we'll want to replace ground with cobblestone. Set up right there. So now we can click without worry. Actually change the color of that cobblestone to fit the ground material better. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think that looks better. We'll go ahead and have it come out towards the lake from over here. There we go. Go ahead and add some more ground in there. With small splotches of grass here and there, like that. You get a really small one right there, I guess not. There we go, something like that. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and add some patches out here a little bit. Fill everything up a little bit. To the environment. Okay. We're almost done with the environment sculpting. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some more elevation in areas around our pathway to kind of lock us in the environment, and we'll go ahead and move our assets back as well while we're at it. Okay. And just basically do some like mounds and stuff like this. Okay, I went ahead and added the hills around the map. And the next step that I'm going to be doing is basically just painting rock around on the sharper sides of these little hills I have here, like this. I'm going to be using both my rock materials, so this one and this one as well. So I have some variants, and we're basically just going to kind of place it on these like edges right here, and that'll be sort of the style that we go for all of these areas. Any slopes and stuff like this will be covered in rock. Okay, something like that. And then we'll grab some of our rocks over here. And these rocks do have grass on them, so we'll try and see how we'll balance these out in the mesh. Do something like this. Like that. Don't want to use too many of these meshes individually, so we want to be somewhat mindful of our performance here, but roughly do stuff like this on the sides of our terrain. And this grass texture's actually a little too dark for our terrain, but that's fine. You guys can just always just change the color of the grass or whatnot, but I'm just gonna keep it as is for now. And we'll sort of just set dress this little hill area with these assets. Something along like this. Something like that. And go ahead and just add some up here at the top as well. Like that. There we go. And do this. Maybe do something like that. And like I said, is the we have this. No, that's the only one that we have. Okay, I see. I have a few more I could grab, but don't really want to do that right now. Maybe even put some at an angle, maybe. Something like that. And we're essentially just gonna do this all throughout the rest of the map. All right, I finished doing the rest of the rocks here, placing them around and whatnot, composing with them and stuff. The next step of this tutorial will be placing the vegetation, and these will be the assets I'll be placing. I have ferns, these little plant things that are around the water, and as well as some smaller rocks that I may place around as well. We're going to start with the smaller objects first, so we don't have to worry about looking underneath these and placing bushes and stuff. We can place the bushes first. So we'll go ahead and start on that. Be sure to always rotate your bushes, give it variety. Always makes it look better, because trust me, it's always possible to tell whenever people don't rotate. And as well, usually most of the time whenever I do place bushes, I try to keep them in where the grass decoration is. I try not to place them where the leafy grass material is. And be sure to make size variations as well, some bigger, some smaller. This might be too many bushes for one little area, but whatever. Doesn't matter too much. It's not like this is for a game. Yeah, something like that looks good. We might actually delete some bushes for ferns, because we're going to place the bushes first and then we're going to go over with the ferns. So I'm going to actually cut back on the amount of the bushes I'm using, density of them, make them more spread out. And don't be afraid to shove like the majority of the asset into the ground. Some areas look better like that, because if you just do this, it's just not going to look good. But if you shove it in the ground, get just a few little areas to pop up, it'll look much better. It fits the area that it's at. So this is about what I'll be doing for the rest of the map, or scene rather, with the bushes. So I'll go ahead and quickly do this composition. I'm just gonna put them over the water and locate that, bring it over. And in case anybody is wondering really quickly how I'm navigating through the tools really quickly, is that I'm using hotkeys, and the hotkeys for select, move, scale, and rotate are as Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4. And then I have other additional hotkeys for plugins as well. Those are custom, so you guys can set those up yourselves at your own preference. So I'll go ahead and do some general fern placement like this. We'll keep these next to the water and bring some of these bushes down a little bit like that. And we're essentially just gonna do this for the rest of the map now, and then we'll get to the tree placement. Alright, I'm back. I've gotten all these bushes quickly placed. I went ahead and quickly made some groupings of some of the vegetation assets just so I can place them a little bit faster, such as the one I'm using right now, or editing right now rather. And this would be right here. I put some of the bushes together with the ferns, made 3 groupings, placed them around. And now we'll go ahead and get on with the tree placement. Let me make these a little bit bigger. There we go, okay. And let's go ahead and bring these 2 over first. And we'll start placing these around the scene here. I might go ahead and just move the sun up a different position right there. How's that look? Yeah, I like it. Okay. Actually, do I like it? Some of these trees we may place into the ground like that, just so they kind of look like really cool shrubs. Some will place regularly. Don't have anything in this area right here. And follow this in. Bring these groupings over. There we go. There we go. Can't really see what these right there. Okay, now we're done with all of these regular tree placements. So this is where we're at now with the scene. We'll go ahead and delete these. I'm not gonna use the smaller little rocks. We're not gonna use them. Now we're gonna place these in specific areas that I feel are good enough for it. Just right here. Over. Or maybe just delete them entirely. Where's the other place I had in mind for this? It was over here, that's right. That's pretty much it for the tutorial. This is what the finalized version of the map looks like in game. Hope you all were hopefully able to take away something useful from this and to be able to apply it to your own works. And I believe that's it.